Man, I'm hungry. Should have grabbed something to eat. Or some coffee. Shit. Let's stop and get some coffee. We gotta wake up. Let's go get some coffee. Getting the coffee after we bought our crappy lumber.
I'll be right with ya.
Yeah, you're good.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. What can I do for you today?
I'm gonna do Trenta iced coffee, black with light ice and peppermint.
Peppermint. Okay. Anything else for you today?
That's it.
Alright. 621 is total.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What am I getting you? Nothing. I gotta wake up. I did get a new tape measure. 12-foot, little tiny guy. That way I don't have to carry around that 16-foot when I'm only measuring things that are like 2 feet long. Holy moly. Getting coffee. Getting coffee.
Hi.
Hey.
I'll ask you a question.
Yep. I'm gonna give you a cash tip.
Would you like a straw?
No.
Let me try that again.
Yes. No, you're all right. Thank you so much. Here. Throw that in the jar. Awesome. Have a good day. Got her coffee. I told her I didn't want a straw. She gave me one anyway. Not trying to help me save the turtles, I guess. Be a lot cooler if she did. Saw a video a couple days ago of somebody pulling a straw out of a turtle's nose. Fucking awful. Then you tell them you don't want a straw, they give you one anyway. Like, isn't that the point of having the whole sip lid thing that you guys do? Out here giving people straws anyways. Doesn't take much to do your part, just a little tiny bit. What's this guy in the box truck doing? He's like all over the fucking place. Good Lord. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Wake up juice, head back to the shop. All right. Another boring drive. Freaking roundabouts. I hate me some roundabouts. Can't ever tell which way people are gonna go. It's kind of ridiculous. We're putting them in everywhere now. Do 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 do. Man, for supposedly being in like the worst financial state we've ever been in, there's new buildings going up all over the freaking place. Everywhere. Warehouses all over the place. Kinda makes you wonder. Rich getting richer. Can't afford bread. Yeah, boy. Need to figure out how to put the music that I'm making onto a CD or something so that I can still be live in the truck and have music playing and not have YouTube get upset about what music I'm playing, because they can't ding me for playing my own music. Need to find a super cheapo CD burner. That's what I need to do. Do 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 Yeah, boy. Hate driving by myself. Need me a Tesla so I can just have it drive me to the shop. Take a nap. Surely if I fold the seats down and everything, I can fit boards in a Tesla. That'd probably be just fine. Oh, another freaking roundabout. Hate these damn things. Oh, I'm sure I'd figure it out too. Have me a roof rack with walnut slabs on the roof of the Tesla. Oh, God. Tell you the one good thing about having ADD, even when I don't have music on, I still got music playing in my head. Which is usually stuff you don't want to listen to. What up, Shoop? What are you up to today, brother? You working? We just made a Lowe's run. Had to get a little bit of wood for some shaker style cabinet doors that I'm making for a lady. Guy that built her fireplace in her living room built a couple built-in cabinets on the sides of it and just took a piece of plywood and painted it white and called it a door. So when I showed up to drop off her dining table, first she had me make her like a breakfast cabinet, like a serving cabinet to match it. So I made some shaker style doors to go on the cabinet. And then when I showed up to drop off the cabinet, she was showing me the doors that the guy built her next to her fireplace. And I was like, why don't we make you some shaker style doors to match your cabinet instead of those hunks of plywood? Off tonight? Yeah, you're live tonight, aren't you, bud? How's that belly doing? It healing up yet? I think about 200 people saw you get whacked in the stomach. Nope. Yeah, heard that. Going live at 9 o'clock. I think that's 10 o'clock my time. Good deal, though. What are you making tonight? You got anything on the lineup? Saw a wood lathe the other day. It was what was it? I think a super old Craftsman. I mean, thing looked like it was from like the 70s. One that you have to take the belt off and adjust it over the pulleys to get your different speeds. Almost thought about picking it up, but he didn't have a chuck with it. He didn't have, anything. None of the chisels with it or anything. For $200, I'd expect it to at least be able to hold a chunk of wood on it. That, and who knows, with it being that old, it's like, does the thing still work? And if it does still work, how long is it going to work? Is the belt still good? Could end up having to do a lot to it. So I'm just going to hold out, wait for another one. I need like a 40-inch for what I do. Too much? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. If he'd have taken like $75, I'd have went and picked it up. But with something that old, it looked like it'd been sitting out in the garage for 30 years. You're gonna have to put a new belt and everything on it anyway. $75, I would have went and picked it up and cleaned it up real nice and everything, built a new cabinet for it to sit on. But I need like a 40-inch, and dude, the new ones are crazy. Everywhere from $1,400 all the way up to like $4,000, $5,000. And it kind of makes you wonder, like, what does the $4,000 lathe do that the $1,400 lathe doesn't do? Think about looking and seeing what Harbor Freight makes up in the 40-inch range. Yeah, replaceable, right? Because they set it down below it. It's like a completely separate thing from the lathe itself. So, I mean, worst come to worst, even if it didn't work, you could always just buy a new, what are they, like half horsepower motor for it. But I need something that's long enough that I can do table legs with. Because even though, I'd ultimately things, most of what I'd be doing would be like anywhere from 28 to 34 inch legs. I think it'd be really cool to be able to take like some 2-inch chunks of walnut and glue them up into 4x4 and be able to turn my own legs with it. You can buy legs like that. You can get ones that are made out of like ash that are, paint or stain ready. They're already sanded and everything. They show up blank. And you can get sets of those anywhere from like $150 for a set all the way up to like $600, depending on what species of wood you're getting. 3/4 horse, yeah. Yeah, it'd probably have to be something fairly substantial for something that big. The new ones I was looking at were like 14-inch by 40-inch. But dude, I'd have to like sell my Jeep to buy one of those. They get way up there in price. even the used ones, I was finding used, like a Jet or a Laguna, and they were still way up there. They want $1,000 for those used. Like, I don't know what you did with that thing. If that's in a full-time shop, that thing could have thousands of hours on it already. 12 by 36, that'd probably be like pushing it for what I need, because if you think about, things like bar tables, so a bar table could set all the way up to 36 inches tall, and then my legs would be like 34. So that would be probably like completely maxing out what you could put on it. I think when they measure 36, they measure from the actual spindle itself, not the chuck that you put on it, right? So 36 doesn't actually hold 36, it holds like 34. I think is how they measure it. But I don't know a whole lot about chucks either. I don't know, if it would just be like a simple, one of those flat chucks that you screw into it. Those only come out from your spindle like half an inch. So you'd still be able to get like 35 and a half on it, or 35 inch. But with a 40, I just wouldn't, I wouldn't have to worry about that at all. And even like a bench top would be fine. And then I could just build, a nice little skinny cabinet base for it to sit on. And then that way you can keep all your cutters and your chuck and everything underneath in the cabinet. That'd be a pretty cool idea. I think you can get a 40-inch bench top that it's either a 12 or a 14. And that one was like 1,100 new, which isn't awful. I mean, when you factor in buying table legs and a set of 4 for $200, by the time you bought 5 sets of those, it's paid for. So that wouldn't be too bad. But it would be a cool thing to have. It's one of the few tools I don't have yet. I'd like to get a joiner, but I don't really have room in my shop for a joiner. Just kind of make do with the table saw and the planer. Yo, what up, Chase? Welcome back in, buddy. Found a video where a guy made, for like a hand planer, like an electric hand planer, he flipped it upside down and attached some boards as like an in feed and out feed, and the hand planers usually have like a trigger lock on it, so you can just pull the trigger lock and then you can adjust the height of your tables underneath it, and then the top is just like a little, they're only like 4 inches wide, but he made it about 3 feet long, the table, with some boards. So you've got a little like 4-inch joiner that wouldn't cost hardly anything. You can buy those things on Marketplace for like $50, those little electric hand planers. And for doing the edges of boards, a 2x, you're only going 1.5 to 2 inches. 3x, or a 4x is 3.5 inch, so you'd still be able to put a 3.5 inch board through it and plane one side so that you can run it through your planer and hit the other side. Pretty cool idea. Yeah, Chase, that's pretty much what I do right now, is I use my table saw as a joiner. And if I've got, a pretty long board that I need to run through it, I'll just take a flat edge and sandwich that flat edge to the edge of my board and run them down together. And then even if you've got a pretty gnarly bow in your board, it'll cut it straight to whatever edge is running down your fence. So if you're cutting on that flat edge, it's going to cut the opposite side of your board flat with that edge. So kind of accomplishes the same thing that a joiner would do anyway. But for some of the stuff that I do, you know, when you're making tabletops that are 8 feet long, I don't have an 8-foot long stretch to hold on the side of it. So then I got a track saw. All kind of accomplish the same thing. Cut your one straight side with the track saw and then use the table saw to get your other side straight. Wanting to start up a new table, I need to make a new flattening jig. I've been kind of putting it off for the past couple weeks. Just went and picked up 6 pecan slabs from a lady that didn't know to sticker them when she stacked them out in her garage. And it's not a climate controlled garage, and they clearly weren't dried whenever she got them. So the top one is fairly dry, and every other one underneath that's sitting at like 40% humidity or moisture content, I guess. So now they're just sitting in the hallway outside the shop. It's a heated space, so eventually they'll dry. Got them all stacked up on the wall with a little gap between all of them. Versatile, yeah, dude. Track saws are sweet. I got the Makita too, which the Makita is the only one that'll actually lock into the track, and it allows you to make mitered cuts with the saw actually locked into the track. So once you've got the track clamped down to whatever you're cutting, you can get perfect miters, because your saw's not, you know, when you're at an angle, your saw's always trying to tip off of the track. With the Makita, it locks into the track, so there's no tipping whatsoever, so you just end up with a perfectly clean miter cut. Pretty cool tool. It's an old Festool model that when their patent ran up and they came out with a new model, Makita bought it. So you're buying a Festool for like half the price. And then it works with all the Festool track attachments. Because it's an old model Festool, all their stuff is, you know, retrofitted. So all the different attachments that you can get for the track and for the saw from Festool, you can put on the Makita. Pretty cool stuff. Who's that? Suzanne in here? How you doing, Suzanne? Good morning. We just went to Lowe's. We got our coffee. Waking up here, I was kind of standing around the shop trying to figure out what I was going to do today, and I've got some cabinet doors that I'm making for a client that I've put off for the past couple weeks, so we're going to go ahead and get those made today. Probably get them finished up tomorrow so I can take them to her this weekend. Getting behind in the shop, yeah, it's easy to do that, man. It is easy to do that. I know one thing about working for yourself is you gotta really have some self-discipline as far as time goes. There's a lot of days that I like to take a day off, you know, sit around the house and relax. Then I just end up stressed out in the evening because I didn't get anything done throughout the day. Shop setups at my mom's house, so once they get home from work and everything, I don't like being out in the garage making a crap ton of noise. They say they don't mind, but I know it's annoying. hopefully get a shop built next summer. Get that done and out of the way. Always behind. Bill, you just gotta knock the shit out, man. Knock it out, get it done, move on. Now, it's better to be behind than ahead, right? You don't want to be ahead because then you have nothing to do. Find yourself twiddling your thumbs. That's never good. I had to cut off. I had a whole bunch of farm tables that I took, a bunch of client work that I took, and I had to cut it off. I ended up pulling my ad down because I was staying so busy with those farm tables, you know, trying to move up to hardwood tables now and get those marketed out to some designers and realtors and everything. I didn't have time to do anything more expensive that I wanted to do because I was always behind with the farm tables. I was scheduled out like 3 months with those farm tables. What's up, Robert? How you doing this morning, man? Trying to think if I have everything that I need here. I do have a piece of oak at home that I wanted to bring to the shop so that it can sit at the shop temp for a little while before I actually use it for something. Might run to the house real quick and pick that up. It's got the animals taken care of, heck yeah. That means you got some quiet time for a minute, right? Man, I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning. Sat there doing nothing because Mom hadn't left for work yet. I don't like showing up that early and waking people up with a table saw running. So just kind of hung out at the house, took a shower, finally got out and about and over there, and then I was standing around like, well, what do we work on? Got a few different things to make. Then remembered this lady ordered her cabinet doors, so getting lumber for those and knocking those out today. I'm gonna make some shaker cabinet doors. Should be pretty quick. They're cheaper. I didn't quote her too awful high for it, so we're making them out of pine. Gonna put them together with pocket holes. Then we'll plug our pocket holes and fill our pocket holes. Get everything nice and neat because they're gonna get painted. Don't really need to make them out of white oak when they're gonna get sprayed. Her cabinet turned out really nice. She was really excited with her cabinet, so now she's having me make new cabinet doors for her built-in cabinets next to her fireplace. Big old doors. I think they were like 38 inches tall, if I remember right. Big old doors. What's everybody else up to today? What are the projects today or tonight? I know everybody's working on something, right? Everybody getting geared up for the Christmas sales. I got a few Christmas projects I'm going to film and have out on video probably at some point this week. It's already Wednesday, but I'd like to get them out as soon as I can here. Saw some people already posting Christmas stuff. Who was it? Oli. Oli had a video he just put up yesterday. It's a pretty good one. If you haven't seen it, you got to go check it out. Yeah. Have a good one, Shoot. Go get your stuff done, man. don't get to your guys' messages, I'm driving. I don't like staring at the phone while I'm driving. I can catch little short ones. But I just figured we'd go live while we're burning some time here, cruising around, doing things we need to do before we get into the shop. I'm going to go live once I'm back at the shop and get my setup all up where it needs to be. We'll go live and I'll show you guys making these cabinet doors. If you haven't seen them built with pocket holes before, it's going to be a stream you don't want to miss. Makes them super easy, super quick, just as strong as anything else. And that way you can knock them out in a day instead of having to take a couple days waiting for your gloves to dry and everything. For something that's getting painted, they're, you know, the perfect solution for putting your rails and stiles together. And then you just do your 1/4 inch plywood insert. Keeps everything neat, everything nice and clean. Morning, Jen. Welcome in, welcome in. We're cruising around, picking up some stuff. Hey, there's the missus. Jim, would you believe last time Mrs. was just full on ignoring you? I got back to the house and she was like, man, don't tell Jen I was ignoring her, but holy moly, I did not want to say hi. That's what she said. Oh. I've been cleaning. Oh man, what are you doing, Jen? You working? I'd rather be playing some art, looting and tooting. I need to just hire somebody to build stuff. That's what I need to do. I need to build a shop. I need to hire somebody. And then have them build stuff. That's the game plan. Working. Gross. Gross. That's no fun. Running to the house to grab a board that I've got. Just chilling in the spare room. So I was sitting in the corner the other day and I was like, hey, I can use that piece of oak to make something. So we're going to pick it up. And then we're off to work. Been like an hour and a half now and I haven't gotten anything done. Got coffee though. Asked you to be in charge. Lord Almighty, they trust you with that? They trust you with that responsibility, Jim? That's all right, Jen. Once we make it rich and famous, I'm gonna hire you to be my secretary. We'll get you out of work too. Shut up. I'm gonna get you out of work too. You can be my secretary and sales lady. Then we'll just be looting and tooting all day. I want some more pumpkin bread. Went bad before I could eat the last couple pieces of it. Want me some pumpkin bread. That sounds delicious. Hell yeah, brother. Heard that. I'd flip my camera around and show you guys what it looks like driving around here, but I'm not trying to dox myself. Been around the space long enough to know not to do that. Don't need no paparazzi showing up in my driveway. Didn't eat it fast enough. I know, it makes like 16 slices and you made 2 loaves. I can't eat 32 slices of bread that quick. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna go grab this board. I will be right back. Run some reports. Yeah, get your stuff done, Suzanne. Thanks for popping in here and saying hey. We're gonna be building some cabinets later if you're free. I'll show you how to make some cabinet doors. I'll be back in just a second. All right, we're back. We are back. Oh, whew. 300 people watching me drive around. Thank you all for being here. We're gonna go to the shop and actually do something. Do. Jen, I'm making music.